From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey. It's Monday morning here on Good Morning Indiana. Thanks for joining us. We have a few stories to get to today before we get into our show. Let's start this off with a missing man. Take a look at your screen right now. This is in the Carmel area, so keep an eye out for this man. The search is continuing. It's 44-year-old Timothy Royster. He was last seen wearing a gray long-sleeved pullover with salmon-colored undershirt, khaki cargo shorts, white Nike hat, glasses, and Adidas shoes. Mr. Royster was last seen around 8:30 on Saturday night. He was leaving the area near Westfield Boulevard and Venice Drive. He was leaving on foot. Call Carmel Police at 317-773-1282 if you've seen this man. Taking a turn right now to the election. It is coming up, and so there is still time for you to register to vote. National Voter Registration Day is set for tomorrow, and so our Kelsey Anderson is going to be breaking down an event that's taking place tomorrow that you should know about if you need to register to vote. It's at Hi-Fi, and voters from any political party can register. It's a bipartisan event here, and this is the detail. She's going to talk a little bit more about this event, why it's important for everyone to register to vote this election, and any details that you need to know if you do plan on attending this event so you can stay safe. Let's talk right now to Todd Clausen about our forecast for today. Todd, it was a beautiful weekend here across central Indiana. Wow, I mean, I know we need the rain, but it was really nice if you had to get outside.
All right, you know, and you always want the dry weather over the weekend, and that's exactly what we had. And we're going to carry that over now, Lauren, into our Monday as well. It's another cool morning for us all across the area. 43 in Kokomo as well as Muncie. A couple of 50s out there still in Indy as well as Lafayette. Bloomington, you're at 44 degrees, and radar is completely quiet here this morning. And that's the way it stays throughout the entire day. Hard to believe it's the 21st of September already. 100% sunshine, 77 degrees is your high temperature. That is exactly where our high temperature normally is this time of year, so it's a seasonal day, and then it'll be cool once again overnight. However, as we get towards the middle of the week and then the end of the week, we start to see some changes into the forecast. We'll talk about them coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Something else we have for you today is in our Hiring Hoosiers. A while ago, I brought you a story about how Culver's is working to get workers, and they also have training programs available to help people go from being team members and employees to owning a Culver's franchise. So we're going to talk to one young woman who is opening her own Culver's location down in Franklin after starting this as just a high school job. So we'll have more on that story, plus how many people she's looking to hire right now in Johnson County. That's coming up, plus news, weather, and traffic to kick off your Monday.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
3 people killed, another injured in a fiery plane crash up in Kokomo. We have the latest details on this developing story. As many continue to mourn the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a tense battle brewing in Washington. The push from members on both sides of the aisle to wait on deciding her replacement. And Kroger teaming up with local Girl Scouts to fight hunger here in Indiana, the new badge they created to help those in need and to improve sustainability. But first, here at 4:30, I want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is standing by this morning with what you can expect as you head out the door to work or even school on this Monday. Todd, it's chillier out there this morning, but it's pretty comfortable.
Yeah, you know, it's not too bad. The coldest morning was on Saturday morning when many locations got all the way down into the 30s. We're not that chilly here this morning, but obviously you want the light jacket as you get going on this Monday with temperatures that are in the 40s in some locations. 44 in Bloomington, 43 is the current temperature up in Muncie, running a little bit warmer in Indy at 52 degrees, and Lafayette is currently at 53. But here's the satellite radar picture. You see this one little band of cloud cover moving through there, and that is just about it. Otherwise, the skies are completely clear for us here this morning. There's a weak little front off to our west. That really won't have much of an impact on us at all as we work our way throughout not only today, but in the coming days. So just completely sunny skies here this morning. Once the sun comes up, we should jump up into the 50s fairly quickly. And then by the noon hour, we're at 67. By 1 o'clock, we're in the 70s. High temperatures today should be in the mid to upper 70s, so it's a seasonal afternoon for us. We'll talk about some changes in the middle of the week. Another tropical system in the Gulf of Mexico could have a bit of an impact on our forecast. More on that in just a couple minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic as you're heading out early on this Monday morning. Taking you up to Carmel here. Good morning to you in Hamilton County. You can see traffic here at US 31 near 116th Street is traveling up to speed. Be aware we do have some construction for roundabout projects happening along 116th Street at both College Avenue and Guilford, so just keep that in mind if that's part of your normal commute. We'll of course keep you updated, but now let's take a look to the south of the downtown area. This is I-65 and Keystone Avenue. This is a spot of ongoing road work here as they're working on the bridge. Again, just a reminder, this week the southbound traffic has shifted over to the northbound side of the road as they have the actual southbound side near the bridge demolished as they're rebuilding that. Traffic through here is traveling up to speed. Just watch out for those lane shifts as you head through that area. Well, we are continuing to follow a developing story. This is out of Kokomo. An investigation is underway there after 3 people were killed in a plane crash on Sunday. The crash happened around 11:30 Sunday morning near the Glendale airport. When emergency crews arrived, they found the plane on fire in a field. A 4th person on board was injured and taken to the hospital. An event was being held at the airport at that time. Glendale Days Barbecue Bash had food, bounce houses, and offered airplane rides. At this time, it's not clear if the plane crash was connected to that event. Authorities have not released the names of the victims at this time. This morning, the search continues for a missing Carmel man. 44-year-old Timothy Royster was last seen wearing a light gray long-sleeve pullover with salmon color undershirt, khaki cargo shorts, white Nike hat, glasses, and Adidas shoes. Mr. Royster was last seen around 8:30 Saturday night, leaving the area of Westfield Boulevard and Venice Drive on foot. Please call Carmel Police at 317-773-1282 if you've seen this man. An epic battle is brewing following the death of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. President Trump likely to nominate a replacement soon, but as John Lawrence reports, Democrats and 2 Republican senators say the process should wait until after the 2020 election.
As mourners hold nationwide vigils for Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Republicans plan for her successor.
Now, it says the president is supposed to fill the seat, right? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to fill the seat.
That could lead to a supreme fight.
She said, "My most fervent wish is that I will not be replaced until a new president is installed."
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell is pressing for a vote, but can likely only lose 3 GOP senators for the nomination to pass. And there is an elephant in McConnell's room.
But he created a new rule, the McConnell rule. Absolutely no hearing, no vote for a nominee in an election year, period. No caveats.
More than 4 years ago, McConnell led Republicans who refused to have a hearing or vote on then-President Barack Obama's Supreme Court nominee, Merrick Garland, saying,
"This appointment should be made by the next president."
But the White House says this is a matter of apples and oranges.
I reject the notion there's hypocrisy. As I said, the historical precedent is when your party's in power and the president nominates consistently, going back to George Washington, the party has continued to confirm those nominees.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
It is 4:35. Election Day is less than 2 months away. Let WRTV be your central source for all you need to know before November 3rd. Go to our Vote in 2020 digital section. You'll find everything you need to know there, including who's on your ballot, where you can vote and when, how early voting works and when that starts, what mailing in your vote looks like, and any other questions you might have this election season. Keep a tab open at WRTV.com/vote in 2020. We are working to learn more about a proposal that could make Indianapolis a bubble location for a college basketball tournament this winter. A proposal presented by the Indiana Sports Corp would host the tournament at the Indiana Convention Center. According to the proposal, the cost would start at $90,000 per team and would cover the officials for each game, hotel rooms, food services, vouchers, airport transportation, COVID-19 testing, and team lounges for meetings and activities. Indiana Convention Center halls would transform into 2 courts for competition. The masks will be required when traveling to and from the convention center. Once inside, we'll bring you any updates as soon as we learn anything. As the pandemic continues, more and more families deal with food insecurities across central Indiana, and so Girl Scouts and Kroger are working together to help. By 2025, the Kroger Foundation is on a mission to end hunger in the communities they call home and eliminate waste across the company. Now Girl Scouts are learning what they can do to help. A new patch program puts girls through Kroger's Zero Hunger, Zero Waste curriculum. We talked to 3 girls who earned this patch over the summer.
Maybe if I can make a change in the world for people to not be starving anymore and all that, then maybe our world would be slightly different.
We hope that they learn about the fact that first of all, that there is food insecurity in Indiana, and that there are food deserts, and that there are things that they can do in their own school, in their neighborhood, in their community to actually make a difference.
Well, after completing the patch program, Scouts are then encouraged to create a community garden, learn or compost, even host a recycling program. They're also encouraged to teach those around them about hunger in Indiana. Hiring Hoosiers is our mission to connect you to new job opportunities, and today you can join WRTV and the Indiana Black Expo for a free Zoom webinar on preparing for virtual job interviews. It's this afternoon from noon until 2 p.m. presented by Cummins with tips from Hiring Hoosiers partners Spherion Staffing. You can then put what you learned to use at our next virtual Hiring Hoosiers Employment Opportunity Fair. It starts at noon on Tuesday, September 22nd. That's also free. Companies looking to hire include FedEx, First Merchants Bank, Indianapolis Airport Authority, Lowe's, and many more. For more information and how to register, you can find this story at hiringhoosiers.com. More states are seeing an increase in COVID-19 cases. Coming up, a look at the new concerns schools say they're facing during the surge. And with the pandemic, the Emmys had a very different look this year. Still ahead, a look at the hazmat suits and other precautions that made the show possible. Todd.
And Lauren, as you look across the country, the weather pattern's still very, very quiet. There's not a whole lot going on, with the exception of another storm in the Gulf of Mexico. That is Tropical Storm Beta. Could start to influence our weather by midweek. We'll talk all about it coming up in your 7-day planning forecast. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. The time right now is 4:41. The nationwide coronavirus death toll is on the brink of another staggering milestone. Nearly 200,000 American lives lost. 27 states are seeing a rise in cases as another large motorcycle rally sparks some new fears. ABC's Megan Tevrizian has the latest.
This morning, the U.S. facing 200,000 coronavirus deaths. In Washington, a somber tribute on Sunday. The National Cathedral bells tolling 200 times, one for every 1,000 deaths. Now, many doctors dreading the fall.
We don't have a clear-cut treatment for this virus, and we don't know if we're going to get a vaccine.
An annual bike fest at the Lake of the Ozarks ending Sunday after drawing more than 100,000 people, many without wearing masks.
You could ask every biker or whatever, anything going on in the world, it ain't going to stop us riding.
On Friday, President Trump insisting his administration will begin distributing a vaccine within 24 hours of its approval. But a new ABC Ipsos poll showed 53% of Americans surveyed have no confidence at all in President Trump to confirm the safety and effectiveness of a potential coronavirus vaccine. It comes as a congresswoman from Connecticut tests positive for COVID and as Hawaii prepares to reopen to visitors. Residents there frustrated with confusing COVID-19 restrictions that have resulted in 10,000 police citations in 1 week.
I've received complaints from even lawyers who couldn't understand what they were allowed to do and what they were prohibited from doing.
Meanwhile, new concerns at schools.
I just think it's very selfish and irresponsible.
An Attleboro, Massachusetts student testing positive, but their parents sending them to school anyway.
This one was an egregious violation of the rules.
30 students now in quarantine.
And now some student athletes testing positive for COVID-19 have to undergo a cardiac evaluation that includes an echocardiogram before they're allowed to return to exercise. It comes as the Washington NFL team owner had to miss a game after coming in contact with someone who contracted the virus. Dan Snyder tested negative, but is quarantining as a precaution. Megan Tevrizian, ABC News, San Diego.
At 4:44 here in Indiana, more cases of COVID-19 reported over the weekend. The State Department of Health confirming 756 new cases on Sunday. 1,100,505 have been reported since the start of the pandemic. 3 new deaths were also reported. The death toll now stands at 3,281. More than 1.3 people have been tested for the million people have been tested for the virus so far. 8.6% of those have tested positive. As the U.S.'s death toll nears 200,000 in a demonstration last night, a group lit up signs in front of the White House displaying the grim number. It read, quote, "Trump lied, 200,000 died," end quote. Well, the DNC paid for that display to share their consensus that the pandemic is heading in the wrong direction. 31 states are reporting an increase in cases. Nationwide, more than 6.7 million people have been infected with the virus since the start of the pandemic. Police have made an arrest after a poisonous letter was sent to President Trump. A woman was taken into custody at the New York-Canada border. That happened on Saturday, as reports showed that someone mailed a letter laced with ricin addressed to the president from Quebec. Tests confirmed the presence of ricin after it was intercepted by law enforcement at the White House mail screening facility. It's a toxic substance with a history of use in terror plots. We're waiting to learn more information about the suspect. There's a new push to acknowledge the greater impact of racism on our health. 3 Democratic lawmakers have proposed the Anti-Racism and Public Health Act. It would create 2 new parts of the CDC, a National Center for Anti-Racism to research health disparities and develop policies to close the divide, and a new program focused on preventing law enforcement violence. The bill also calls on federal government to declare racism a public health crisis. Many state and local governments have already done that. At 4:46, let's get a check of our forecast right now. Todd Clausen is standing by with the latest. Hey, Todd.
Lauren, good morning to you. Happy Monday, everybody. It's a nice quiet start to our work week here across central Indiana. That is the good news. And overall, it's another fairly quiet week of weather. There's just a little bit of a issue in the middle half of the week, potentially. It's still not a guarantee. More than that in just a second. 52 degrees out there. Just a light wind. The air really dry. Even at this hour, typically in the overnight hours, because the temperature's cooler, that's when your humidity is a little bit higher because it's relative to the temperature. So 54% humidity at this hour is extremely dry. And you may have noticed it a little bit with the dry conditions out there and the dry air. A lot of people have been sneezing and complaining about some allergies because of the dry conditions. So be careful out there. Just make sure you drink plenty of water if you're going to be exercising. 43 degrees right now in Greencastle, 43 in Muncie, 50s the current temperatures. You make your way into the Greenfield area. As far as the day goes, not much changes as far as the sky cover. It's almost completely sunny throughout the day, and we just have to really kind of focus on the temperatures. 52 degrees at 9 a.m., 67 degrees by the noon hour. We push into the 70s by 1, 2 o'clock, and then high temperatures today will be topping off right around 75 to 80 degrees, once again, depending on exactly where you live. But we're all in the same air mass, so there's not really going to be too much of a temperature-wise. Skies are clear. You have this one little front that's off to our west. It's kind of on the tail end of a pretty strong area of low pressure that's moving through Canada. But this is basically going to slide to our north, so you don't really have to worry about that. But this is Tropical Storm Beta. We've run out of names, so it's going to start to make its way up towards the Midwest as we get into the Wednesday, Thursday time frame, depending on the exact track, the exact amount of moisture. We may have some showers in this forecast as we get into late Wednesday, early Thursday, so that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. But again, it's definitely not a guarantee to impact us all that much, and we really could use some of the rainfall for us, so I'm hoping we get some in here. 71 at 7 p.m. Once the sun sets, temperatures cool back off into the 60s once again. Pretty quick sunset this evening is at 7:43. Then overnight tonight, back into the 40s. It's another cool night with great sleeping weather for us. And then as we go forward in this forecast into tomorrow, you notice temperatures back up into the 70s. A little more in the way of cloud cover potentially tomorrow, but overall still a very nice day for us. Here's your 7-day planning forecast. Again, once we get into Wednesday, Thursday time frame, that's when we may bring a few spotty showers in, but probably definitely a little more in the way of cloud cover. And then as we work our way towards the weekend, temperatures are going to be up near 80 degrees. Sunday, though, the potential for a little more in the widespread range of showers and a few thunderstorms. But the way we've been trending trending and how dry we've been, that's definitely not a guarantee, and something, Lauren, we'll keep an eye on as the week progresses.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're heading out on the roads this morning. This is a live look at I-70 near Shadeland Avenue over on the east side of town. Keep in mind as you travel on the east side on our interstates, we do have some road construction on westbound I-70 approaching I-465 and Shadeland Avenue. The off-ramp there is blocked until 6 a.m. this morning. That is for some road work happening in the area, so just keep that in mind. It's not impacting traffic flow, though. Everything's traveling up to speed. Taking you up now to Hamilton County, a live look in Carmel. Good morning to you. This is US 31 near 116th Street, where traffic here on the highway is moving along up to speed. We have some road work and roundabout work scheduled on 116th Street near College Avenue in Guilford. This is happening today, so keep that in mind if it's part of your commute. Federal judge has granted the app WeChat some more time before it's banned here in the U.S. A group of app's users asked for this delay. WeChat allows family and friends to message each other no matter where they are in the world. President Trump wants the Chinese-owned platform banned in the U.S. over security concerns. However, the federal judge from California says there's not enough evidence to show that there's a security threat and says that a ban infringes on free speech rights. The annual Emmy Awards always makes for a night to remember on TV entertainment, but last night's 2020 edition will be a little more memorable than usual. The 72nd Emmys are the most significant award show to go on since the pandemic. Comedian Jimmy Kimmel hosted the event in front of an empty Staples Center. There were a few cardboard cutouts of the nominees to keep him company. Nominees instead were watching from home and accepted the awards virtually. Some of the trophy presenters wearing hazmat suits for the handoff. Producers of the show sent out more than 130 remote cameras to make this all work. Most other award shows like the Oscars had to postpone their dates further into 2021. Lil Nas X is taking children along the Old Town Road in a new children's book. The rapper, whose real name is Lamar Hill, announced that he's releasing a picture book. It's called C is for Country. The publisher Random House children's book says that the book will feature Lil Nas X and Panini the Pony on a journey through the alphabet. You can pre-order this book now, but it won't be hitting the store shelves until early next year. Scientists discover fossils from dinosaurs buried by a volcanic eruption. We'll take a look at their findings and what they're learning about this new species coming up after the break. And the deadline to register to vote is only 2 weeks away. Coming up new at 5, what one organization is doing to help voters meet the deadline and volunteer this election day. Time right now is 4:52. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Archaeologists in China came across an incredible find earlier this month, perfectly preserved dinosaur fossils. The full skeletons are from newly discovered species that roamed the earth millions of years ago. They were found in northeast China, where scientists believe the dinosaurs were trapped by a volcanic eruption while resting at the bottom of their burrows. They are thought to be small plant-eating species that can run really fast. Characteristics in their skeleton also suggest that they could dig burrows much like rabbits do today. Pretty interesting. All right, Todd, as people are heading out there this Monday, kicking off the work week, what can we expect in the weather department?
You know, it's another beautiful day for us with nothing but sunshine. 77's our average high for this time of year, and that's right where we'll be later on this afternoon. So a couple degrees warmer than we were yesterday, up to near 80 degrees for Tuesday and Wednesday. You'll notice a little more in the way of cloud cover as we get towards the middle of the week, and we may have to add a few showers in on Thursday, depending on the exact track of what is Tropical Storm Beta. And then as we go into the weekend, there's some rain chances as well. No plans need to be canceled, though, as we continue to run very, very dry. But you do notice the overnight lows start to get a little bit warmer. 48 tomorrow morning. By the weekend, lows in the mid-60s. The time now is 4:57. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.